All right, today we're looking at topic 9-8 in our textbook, talking about choosing appropriate displays. Data can be displayed in many different ways with different types of graphs as we've been studying throughout the unit, and this is just a way to help you determine what type of graph your data would be best suited for. So in order to determine which display is best used for our data, we need to understand the strengths and what each display is intended to be used for. So a bar graph is used to show the number of items in specific categories. It's looking at the number of items, the actual number of items, and we're looking at categories. A circle graph is a graph that's used to compare parts of the data to the whole. So if our data is given in percentages, a lot of times a circle graph would be a very good way to display that data. A histogram is a special type of bar graph, and its horizontal axis is divided into equal intervals, so it's showing intervals. It could be broken into time or something like that. And it shows the frequency of data, so the frequency with specific intervals. Line graphs show change over time. Line plots show how many times each number occurs. And line plots are really good for showing your central data. So I like to say if I'm looking to find the mean, median, or mode of something, if that's what my goal is, then a line plot would be a great way to display that. Stem and leaf charts list all the individual numerical data into a condensed form. And Venn diagrams show how two or more sets of data are related. Okay? So stem and leaf plots are also a good way to show central data. So if we're asking students if they play in the band or play sports and we want to display that data graphically, a Venn diagram would be a great way to do so because it can show the overlapping of band and sports. So we would want to use a Venn diagram. That's band, that's sports, and these are the kids that do both. Where if we were going to make a list of the age of people walking into a mall for a 1 hour time period, a stem and leaf plot might be the best way to go. Because on a stem and leaf plot, you can put the stem for their ages, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And then how many people are 4 years old that are walking the mall? Probably not a whole lot. And then you have your 10-year-olds, 11s, your 13, your 15, and so on and so forth. And so that's a really quick way to see where your central data is, where what age most of your mall walkers will be. All right, so in this example, the table shows the percent of Joanne's paycheck that goes to each category of her budget. Select the appropriate display. So if we're looking at percents, let's go, if we look back at our things, circle graphs are going to compare the parts to the whole. So if you're looking at percents like this, a circle graph would be a great display. So we would choose a circle graph because it compares a part to a whole. And what would that graph look like? Okay, we have 55% in bills, so if I put a line straight across, that's 50%, so it's going to be just a little bit more than 50%. This would be bills, 55%, 25% miscellaneous, and then we have 10% for car, 10% for savings, so I could just break this one in half. Car and savings. Okay, so then you would choose a pie chart. Now it's time for you to try. For number 2 and number 4, select the appropriate display, then justify your answer. For number 6, create an appropriate display for the given data. So you're going to figure out which display you should use and also create that display. Go ahead and pause it and work it out. When you're done, go ahead and push play and you can see the key. Here's the key for the U-Try. Once you're done, go ahead and write a summary, go into Edmodo, and do today's Edmodo assignment.